Hey, what up fam? Thank you for joining me on Crazy Cooks. Today I'm going to show you how to take these and turn them into something that looks like this. I'm going to show you how to make orange chicken. I guarantee you it's better than Panda Express. Stay tuned. Alright you guys, right here you see me cleaning my chicken, or one process of cleaning my chicken. What I'm doing is I'm taking my kitchen shears and I'm going in and trying to remove as much fat as I possibly can from my chicken thighs without cutting off my chicken meat. As you can see, this is what I have so far. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and clean as much of that fat that I possibly can. You want to be careful because you don't want to cut off your chicken meat, because chicken thighs, boneless, skinless chicken thighs, they are expensive. So you want to make sure you get all of your meat. Then I'm going to go in with the shears and I'm going to go ahead and cut the chicken thigh into small pieces. As you can see, I chose the most raggedy pair of kitchen shears that I own. And they are dull as who knows what, and I'm just cutting away. But I'm just cutting it into smaller pieces. You can make them as small or as big as you like. As you can see, this right here is about the average size of my chicken thighs. Now I went ahead and rinsed them off with some salt water and vinegar solution. And now I'm going to go ahead and get me a clean bowl and create this batter. Now this batter consists of 3 cups of flour, you're also going to need 1 cup of cornstarch, one tablespoon of salt, and a teaspoon of black pepper. You need 1 large egg, and we're also going to go in with 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Now we're going to go ahead and have about 3 cups of water on standby. I went ahead and added 1.5, and I'm going to mix that up. I used a hand blender because I didn't feel like using a whisk. I just didn't. So you keep adding a little bit of water until you get to a consistency, something like this right here. You're looking for a thin, kind of thin pancake batter, just like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our chicken pieces, and we're going to begin to add our chicken pieces into the batter. We want to submerge the chicken pieces into the batter. Now just to let you guys know, this recipe calls for 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. But as you know, I have a large family, so what you see me doing is I have 6.5 pounds of chicken thighs. Once I started putting them into this batter, I noticed that the bowl was getting fuller and fuller and fuller, and I started to think, this ain't gonna work, girl. So I just went ahead and poured the batter onto my chicken thighs. Now I'm taking my my kitchen utensil. I'm going ahead and mix it up, making sure that all of my chicken pieces are well coated in this batter. You want to make sure there's no pieces sticking up. Now you guys will not have this problem if you follow the recipe. If you do use more chicken like I did, yes, you will run into the problem of having to use a bigger bowl. But if you use the 2 pounds of chicken, you will not have to use a bigger bowl. It's not going to overflow. So right now what you're going to do is you're going to get you some plastic wrap, and you're going to wrap your bowl with it. You don't have to have a completely, tight seal on it or anything like that. Just put something on top of it. Excuse me. This weather is killing my throat. But you don't have to have a completely solid or tight seal on this plastic wrap because, it really doesn't matter. You just want to put this in the refrigerator. And you're going to take your plastic wrap and you're going to press it down on top of the batter and chicken just so that it touches, because you don't want it to grow a skin. And it's going to be in your refrigerator for 1 to 4 hours. Now we're going to go ahead and prepare to fry our chicken pieces. We're going to go ahead and pour our vegetable oil into our pan, giving us about 1 to 1.5 inches. Even 2 inches is fine. Whatever you have, just make sure that you have enough oil in your pan to be able to fry your chicken pieces, and so that they'll be able to move around freely in your pan. Once your oil comes to temperature, we're going to start adding in our chicken pieces with some tongs. So we're going to drop them in one piece at a time. I know it might seem tedious, but the last thing you want is to have a chicken patty, so because this batter is wet and it does stick together. So therefore, drop it in one at a time. And I would suggest that you do not overcrowd your pan, although you can still fit quite a few pieces in there. You just don't want to pile them on top of each other. You want each of your chicken pieces to have their own little space in your pan. You don't want to pile any on top. So once you get your chicken pieces in your pan, you want to get you a slotted spoon or a spider and go ahead and try to move them around in the pan to make sure that they are not sticking. If you do find that a few pieces are sticking, go ahead and try to put your utensil in between them to try to separate them. But just keep going back and moving them around in the pan, making sure that they're getting, they're going to have a light golden brown color on them. They're not going to get dark as if you were to fry a piece of chicken. They're going to be a light golden brown. Excuse me, my throat, y'all. And it's going to look like this. This is the color that you're going for. And once you do put them on your paper towel to drain, they will get slightly darker. But this right here is around about the color that you're going to get with this batter. So go ahead and fry them up, and once you get them all done, then go ahead and put them on a paper towel to drain. Now with a clean pan, we're going to go ahead and prepare our orange sauce. You take 1 tablespoon of oil, and you're going to add in 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes. Now if you like it hotter, by all means, give it a go. Give it a full, teaspoon or a 1/2 teaspoon, whatever you like. But my kids are going to eat this, so I can only make it but so hot. Once your chili flakes start to sizzle just a little bit, you're going to go ahead and put in your next ingredient, which is garlic. So we're going to add in some garlic. And that's about 2 tablespoons of garlic. I'm going to go ahead and mix that around. Once you start to smell your garlic, which should be between 15 to 20 seconds, you're going to go ahead and add in the rest of your ingredients. Right here, I added in 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I'm going to go in right here with a 1/4 cup of white sugar, a 1/2 cup of orange juice, now I'm coming in with some white vinegar, you guys. We're going to add in a 1/2 cup of white vinegar as well. I don't know what it is about the smell of vinegar, but it makes me gag. But it tastes really good in this dish. It kind of enhances the orange flavor. So once we get that, we're going to go ahead and mix that around and melt our sugar into this mixture. If you do see, like you see here, I have a couple of chunks of brown sugar. Don't worry, they will definitely melt because the temperature of this pan is going to get super hot, so that you won't have to worry about. Now once you finish mixing that up, you're going to go ahead and add in 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Now we're going to mix that in and make sure that this mixture is well combined. Okay, now in this little bowl I have 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water. I'm going to try to mix it up as good as I can to make sure that none of the mixture has any, lumps or whatever. I'm gonna try to keep this mixture moving in this pan because I don't want any of the sugars to stick, especially the ones that have not, dissolved yet. I'm adding in 3 tablespoons of this mixture to my pan to thicken this up, and we're gonna go ahead and keep stirring and let it bubble away. Once our orange sauce becomes thick like this, we're going to go ahead and cut our eye off and give it one last mix around, and we're going to start adding in our chicken pieces. We're going to add in 2 pounds of chicken pieces. Well, I'm adding in 2 pounds of chicken pieces. As you guys know, I have 6.5 pounds of chicken pieces, so I'm just going ahead and add those into the sauce and just making sure that each part is coated. Remember, I told you that once you let them sit and cool off and drain, they do become a tad bit darker, such as this. And now I'm just going ahead and tossing them in this sauce. We want each piece to have a light orange sauce glaze. We had one that jumped ship. I had to put them back where they belong. So keep continuing to mix until you make sure that every bit of your pieces have some glaze on them, or I keep calling it glaze because it looks like a glaze, but it's a sauce. Make sure that each piece has some of your orange sauce on. And I did add a few more pieces because I did feel like, I could go ahead and squeeze a few more in there. So after I squeeze that little bit in there, then now we're going to go to the very last step. Once everything looks mixed well to you, you're going to go in with about a tablespoon of sesame oil. Once you place that sesame oil, get your spoon and go in and mix that sesame oil in there, and pretty much, you guys, you're finished. You have created the most delicious, easy orange chicken. And I promise you, if you make this dish, you will not have to go to Panda Express another day because you can create this simple dish on your own. Guys, I finally finished my orange chicken, and here it is. I paired it with some white rice. I don't know if you can see that steam coming, but it's still hot, and I'm gonna taste it, and this is my dinner. Can you see that? This is so good. I'm gonna see if I can let you guys see.
all the plates. I only get the pink one.
You won't be disappointed. This is so good, y'all. Make this for your family. Do that. They'll love you for it.
I'm gonna get you another fork.
Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me for this episode of Chrissy Cooks. Make this orange chicken, you guys. It is yummy. Did you hear? You hear my baby say, "This is yummy, mommy." Thank you. Make this for your family. They'll love you for it. Like I said, thank you again for joining me for this episode of Chrissy Cooks. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when I upload my next video. And until next time, you guys, peace.